Hello, movie lovers. Welcome to the weekly movie news podcast from Movie Talk Express. And we're actually recording this a little early this week because I'm going to be heading out of town for a little bit. And for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Jacob Bartley, the regular host of the all the MTE movie news, YouTube stuff, most of it, other than like the Padawan podcast and some new upcoming stuff. And I'm joined today with Gio Ramos. You guys know him as the movie news guru. How you doing, man?
Doing good. I hope you all are doing well out there.
Oh yeah, so we're actually recording this on Tuesday, and because I'm leaving town on Thursday, so we wanted to give enough time to edit it and put it up. So there may be some bigger news stories to drop later this week, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to cover them, so we're just going to deal with what we got so far this week. And there's actually some really cool stuff and something incredible that I just saw, and it's what we're going to lead off with. Gio, why don't you tell them what that is?
All right. First subject is going to be on a trailer that just released this morning. The second trailer for The Revenant, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy, directed by Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu. And this is his follow-up film to last year's Birdman, which won Best Picture. The second trailer came out. It gives us a lot more than the first trailer did in terms of a dialogue, a little bit more of the story, the tragic events that happened for Leonardo DiCaprio's character, who is real-life hunter in the 19th century Hugh Glass. So the second trailer came out. Jacob, you just saw it recently, like within the last hour, and I want to ask you, what's your reaction to the trailer? You seemed very surprised by it.
I was very surprised, and oh man, I freaking loved it so much. It looks incredible. It looks way better than I thought it would ever look. Like, I cannot believe what I just saw. This is kind of weird because it gives away something huge that you would not know unless you watch this trailer. So I don't know if we want to say what that is. I'm going to just not, but I mean, obviously they want you to know this plot point going in. So warning, if you're one of those people who absolutely want to know nothing going in, I wouldn't watch the trailer, but you have to watch this trailer. It's freaking amazing. It blew my mind. What did I say when the trailer ended, Gio?
It's going to win Best Picture.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's just an estimation and hopeful wishing for me, but this looks like it has all the ingredients for a Best Picture. It would be Inarritu's second in a row if that did happen. This movie looks amazing. Gio, what did you think of the trailer? You watched it earlier today, way before me.
Yeah, and you guys can check out the trailer on our site. I wrote up some stuff about it. I didn't think the reveal was that big. To my understanding, Inarritu, he added Hugh Glass having a son and him, I'm just going to say it. He bites the dust, okay? He dies. To my understanding, the director threw that in there to give it a more personal, bloodthirsty revenge story. Because I guess in the original, it was just a bear attack that left him for dead and his compatriots leaving him behind. So by adding this, it does raise the stakes. It makes it more personal and whatnot. So, I mean, once again, the background, the landscapes, the cinematography, it looks amazing. Like, I love how they chose to shoot at remote locations, places, areas that have never been touched by man before. We get some dialogue from Tom Hardy. That was pretty amazing. His character looks, very ruthless. I can't wait to see him and DiCaprio go at it. And we have our first look at Domhnall Gleeson and Will Poulter in the movie. Very briefly, though. So I'm excited to see where their characters fall into the film. And other than that, yeah, guys, it's a good trailer. Definitely check it. It's a great trailer.
The reveal in the trailer that Gio's talking about, I was saying it changes everything. Mm-hmm. It makes it like I always had this reservation in my head, like okay, these guys left him for dead, and like it's in the 1800s. He's really gonna waste his time like going to hunt them down because they left him for dead. Like obviously they didn't want him to die. Just the circumstances that he gets injured, they can't afford to carry him. Like I didn't feel like that was enough motivation to like ruthlessly hunt someone down and want bloodthirsty revenge, like you said. But bringing in this other element to that, it changes everything. It makes it so much more personal. It gives him the motivation and it's gonna make the audience believe that he really wants to find these guys and kill him. Mm-hmm. So I'm freaking stoked, man. Nothing can surpass my anticipation for Star Wars, The Force Awakens, but this was already my number 2 anticipated for the rest of the year. It's like right under Star Wars, man. I cannot wait.
Exciting. All right, next up we have some news. Humberto Gonzalez from Heroic Hollywood suspects he got a hot tip that a third Batman v Superman trailer will be coming this November. According to his report, what WB is going to do is they're going to put a minute-long teaser focusing on Superman on air during when the Supergirl happens, the TV show. And then there'll be a minute-long teaser for Batman that same night over Gotham. And then both teasers will lead up to a full-length third trailer, which is expected to be released in front of Creed. So, Jacob, I'm going to ask you, do we really need a third Batman v Superman trailer? And if so, what do you expect to see in the trailer? What do you hope to see?
I mean, we don't need it, like, desperately need it, but I kind of don't want to see anymore. Like, I know everything I want to know, but I'm gonna watch it when it comes out. It's gonna happen. So, but this better be the last trailer, the last full length trailer, if there is one coming. And I have a hard time believing that because after November, yeah, the film's only 4 months away, but that's 4 months. Like, of course we're gonna get our little TV spots and snippets, and I'm not gonna watch any of those. I avoid those. I avoided them for Age of Ultron. I want to know as least possible going into movies. So I wish we weren't getting another trailer, honestly, because that forces me not to watch it. I mean, there's no trailer to watch, but yeah, I'm gonna watch it though, so I'm still looking forward to it. And I don't know, I guess it's kind of weird that they're premiering those, like the Batman part and the Superman part before those shows, but I mean, it makes sense. It's going to help out the viewership for those shows. So I guess, it's all under the same umbrella, under the same family. So why not help each other out? And also, I guess, get people that watch the shows aware of the movie, too. So it works both ways.
Yeah, I mean, this is the unfortunate side of doing what we do, especially for me when I'm putting out all these articles and I have to... If something new comes out for Batman v Superman, especially for a film this big, it's worth talking about. It's almost impossible to avoid watching, new trailers or clips or anything like that. But it comes with the territory. Do I think we need another trailer? Sure, but I would have expected it to come out sometime around Christmas. After that 4-minute long trailer that released on Comic-Con, I was like, wow, like now it's going to be really tricky. And it's going to be even worse for Suicide Squad, honestly, considering how early that trailer came out because of the assholes who leaked the trailer. But like I said, yeah, it's a good idea that they are putting teasers in front of their TV shows. I guess, like you said, it's going to bring more... attention to that. And yeah, I mean, for me, with this trailer, I want them to show a little more of the like in between when Batman and Superman face off, and them two kind of coming together for the first time, maybe suspecting who they are. I mean, other than that, they're gonna keep the villain under wraps, I assume, even though I pretty much have me and you have a pretty good idea of who it is, but that's a different conversation. So I mean, honestly, they could recycle a lot of the same footage, but throw in a little bit of new stuff, and
Yeah,
that would be
I wouldn't
cool.
mind just like a little snippet of Aquaman. Jason Momoa is Aquaman. Like I wouldn't mind a little something there, but I don't want to know who the big baddie at the end ends up being. Even though it's probably General Zod becoming Doomsday, I just don't want to know that until I'm in the theater. So hopefully it's not that.
Right. And I mean, it's not like this film, is it's not like we don't have a good idea of what this film is going to lead into. You look at the subtitle alone for the movie,
Yeah, Dawn of Justice, and it's a given. We know it's in this, isn't it in the synopsis?
Yeah.
That they team up at the end?
Yeah, that Batman and Superman, one of them is not going to kill each other. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is going to happen. It's just
Plot
seeing
twist.
seeing it play out. Yeah.
Superman dies.
Well, there's no announced sequel yet from DC, so that could be a possibility.
Subtle diss. No, I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, guys, let us know what you think. Do we really need a third trailer? If so, what are you hoping to look, or for them to,
put in
show?
the trailer?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm clearly not excited about it, but whatever. All right, moving on. We have an update for Kingsman 2. There will be spoilers for Kingsman if you haven't seen the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, what are you doing? Go watch it.
You're not a movie fan. I'm just kidding.
Nah. So, director Matthew Vaughn, Mark Miller, and Jane Goldman, writers for the first film, are currently busy writing the sequel right now. They're trying to crack a story, and part of that puzzle includes finding out a way to bring back Colin Firth, who died in the first movie. Pretty clearly, I mean, the way he died, it's clear. He died. There's no way him coming back. No way. But fans want to see Colin Firth come back. They loved him. I thought he was probably the best thing about that movie. And Mark Millar is aware of this, so he spoke with IGN about bringing him back, but focusing on the integrity of the story. If they're gonna bring him back, it's gonna make sense. Don't just bring him back because the studio says so or the fans say so. They want it to make sense, and they've come up with a couple of ideas which Millar has shared. Does Colin Firth, his character, have an evil brother? Is he a ghost or whatever? That's some of the stuff that they've talked about, but they still haven't found a definitive answer to this little task they've put themselves in. So, Jacob, do you want to see Colin Firth back in Kingsman 2, and or do you want to see someone else fill the void?
All right, so I agree with you, Gio, that out of all the great things in Kingsman, and there's a lot of great things in Kingsman, Colin Firth might have been the best part of that whole movie. He was so charismatic. He was his first time really doing a big action role, and he killed it. I loved him in the movie. He was definitely the highlight of that film. But they clearly wanted you to know that he is dead. He got shot, right in...
point blank in the face. Yeah.
Right in the head. Unless they have some type of technology that can keep him alive or kept him alive. I don't know. I won't put it past any of these movies to bring... They can bring back anyone they want because obviously it's fiction. But I don't want them to. As much as I would love to see Colin Firth back, it's going to take something away from me. If Colin Firth comes back as the same character, somehow he survived, somehow they brought him back to life. Now in the next movie, I'm going to be if anyone dies, there's no stakes. Anyone can die and come back. The MCU, which is a problem I have with the MCU, which I freaking adore and love. I get frustrated with how many times they kill characters and bring them back. So it will take something away from it for me if he's the same character. Now, if they're going to do it how they could do a couple of things. They could do flashbacks. But then again, I want to see him and the kid work together. They had good chemistry, So we could do flashbacks. They could do, maybe he has an evil twin, which is kind of cheesy, but who knows? Maybe they can make it work. Or a ghost thing, but do ghosts exist in this world? I don't know, but either way, I'm freaking excited for Kingsman 2.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Okay, so for me, one of two things: either make Kingsman the follow-up film an origin story and focus on the Colin Firth's character.
Oh, that could work. Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's that. Or you could, like I said, give someone else. I want to see, for me, put a female in that Colin Firth role.
Yeah,
make her a badass.
That would be that would be cool.
Yeah,
Maybe Felicity Jones. I don't know.
too young.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
She's Princess Leia in Rogue One, though. No, she's not. We don't know that.
Well, we'll talk Star Wars next. But yeah, as far as Kingsman 2 goes, I want them to expand on the Kingsman Secret Service spy organization, because I know there's more agents out there besides Mark Strong.
Well, I want to see that trio back together, though.
Yeah.
The Mark Strong, the girl, and the boy, you know?
Right.
I forget their names, but you know who I'm talking about. The three heroes at the end.
Eggsy, Roxanne.
Exactly.
How the fuck do I know?
They had good chemistry, man. And I liked the girl in that film. She was Roxanne.
Yeah, they were cool. They gave her a bullshit task, but I mean that's
not really. It was important. Mark Strong was awesome, though.
Yeah. Anyways, if you guys want to see Colin Firth back in Kingsman 2, let us know. If you have an idea of how he could return, pitch it to us. We want to know, and we'll talk to you about it, and whatnot. Kingsman 2 is slated for 2017, but it doesn't have a release date yet. Nor is Matthew Vaughn set to direct, but he is writing, for sure. We know that, and producing. All right, and next up we have some sort of spoilerish stuff to talk about as far as Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So if you do not want to know this, stop playing, turn off your headphones right now, and
all right, I'm gonna have to step out.
Oh no, it's fine.
No, I'm just kidding. No, just to like give you guys some an idea of what's about to happen right now. I have no idea what's coming. I did not read what these spoilers are. What are they coming from? Trading cards?
Yes.
So I don't know if it's going to be some huge news, but I'm excited to hear what it is.
Okay, so we all know that Lucasfilm, they've been super secretive as far as their teaser trailers go. I mean, we pretty much know next to nothing when you look back at all their teaser trailers. However, it's pretty interesting how much information is revealed via toys, merchandise, and even trading cards. So Latino Review has released some new information, and it's pretty concrete when you look at the picture. So Latino Review posted a picture of trading cards for The Force Awakens, and there were several things that revealed specifically for Finn and Rey. So it pretty much confirms that Rey is a Jedi, and Finn, when we first meet him, is not a Jedi yet. However, in the marketing material, we've seen Finn wielding a lightsaber, but we've had questions in regards to, is he Force sensitive? Is Rey a Jedi or not? Well, now we know she is a Jedi, according to these trading cards. So I want to ask you, Jacob, what is this? What do you make of this news? Is Rey the child of Han and Leia, or what does this confirm? Or for me, it presents more questions than answers. But what do you think about it?
I've always thought, not always, but especially in the past year, I've always pretty much it's in the bag that she's Han and Leia's son, or maybe Luke's daughter, or Han and Leia's daughter, or maybe Luke's daughter. But I think it'd be more. I think it'll be. I don't know. I don't want to see her be Luke's daughter, because then it's his direct heir. It would be interesting if that's her uncle and he's training her, But I'm curious if. So a lot of people speculate that Kylo Ren is related to them, to the Skywalker somehow, and that Daisy Ridley is a Skywalker or a Solo, or I mean both, obviously, if it's Han and Leia's kid. But so why did they get separated from their parents if they are? Like, why couldn't Han and Leia just keep their kids and raise them, and then, and you know, that we start the movie with, you know, with the family together? Like, what happened to where they had to separate their kids? Because I mean, it made sense why Luke and Leia had to be separated and kept apart. But so what? Even if it's just Rey, why isn't Rey with her parents? Why did she get separated from them? That's always been my question. But regarding, I don't know. I don't like that they're kind of playing games with us about the Finn character. I don't understand what they're trying to do. But if it's gonna hopefully it all pays off in the movie. I want Finn to be a Jedi, because otherwise he's just gonna be a regular guy fighting with a lightsaber. And if he fights a Kylo Ren, or later on down the road a Supreme Leader Snoke, how is he gonna even? It's not gonna be possible. It's gonna have to be Daisy Ridley fighting them, which that would make sense. I wouldn't mind that, but I don't know. It would be kind of cool to see. You know, to see Finn as a Jedi, but I don't think they're gonna make them both Jedis, because then, you know, it takes something special away. Like that, you know, Luke was the Jedi in that group, in the main group in the original trilogy. You know, even though Leia is Force sensitive, we find out later she wasn't using the Force and she wasn't really aware of it back then. But if two Jedis as main characters, I don't know if that's gonna work, but I'm curious to find out.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, more questions than answers. I'll give a little speculation in regards to one of your questions. I think Rey and Kylo Ren are both parents to or children of Han and Leia. I think Luke is trying to rebuild the Jedi Order, and who better to go to than the offspring of your sister and the guy who you trust and know, who has a good heart, you know, despite his anti-hero ways, you know?
Yeah.
So I think Luke early on trained both Rey and Kylo Ren.
Oh, when they were young.
And I think Kylo got obsessed with power and the stories that he was told about Luke and Darth Vader, his son, which makes him very obsessed with the Darth Vader character. And I think Kylo Ren eventually goes off and becomes a rogue and, you know, turns evil, whereas Rey continues her training and whatnot and becomes a fully fledged Jedi Knight, which would then confirm that her ability in a later rumor that she can take on a room full of stormtroopers and Knights of Ren. And maybe she either takes Finn as a Padawan, as her apprentice, or maybe Luke. Who knows? That's just me spitballing there. Because
I think that would be awesome.
I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about.
I like where you're going, man, because that would be... To a lot of the movies, we have to like see someone go through a training montage or a training sequence, like,
right.
And half the time they're pretty good, or they end up being great, or other half the time they're not so good, or they end up being horrible and they take too long. I would love it if Rey already knows the Force when we meet her, and that would make sense for that information that came out a couple weeks ago about her taking on a whole room of stormtroopers and some Knights of Ren. So that's the only way that would be possible, is if she was already been training, and that would make sense why Kylo Ren is, you know, come so far, because if I would love to see like some kind of flashbacks from like 10 years ago of Luke training them. Maybe that's when he's telling them, you know, the Force is strong in my family, like another version of that speech like he does in Return of the Jedi. Mm-hmm. And he says it to them when they're like 10 and 8 years old, you know, and then like you said, somehow they end up going separate, you know, down separate paths. But still, how do they all get separated? Maybe, you know, the New Order like attacks wherever they are, and they have to all... Luke goes into hiding. Maybe they take Kylo Ren with them, and Daisy Ridley gets away. And so, I mean, who knows? Star Wars and J.J. Abrams are like they're like the most secretive you can possibly be about an upcoming film. So, and I'm glad because I don't want to know. I want to find out in the theater and just cry the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out, and we'll talk more about this for next week's panel podcast, guys.
Sure.
So definitely tune into that. Star Wars releases December 18th. Let us know your speculation on Rey being a Jedi. Does this confirm anything for you, or give us your speculation on how this all plays out? We're definitely interested to find out.
All right, that's gonna do it for today. A little shorter than usual. Sorry about that, but I said, we got to record a little bit earlier in the week, so there hasn't been all the new topics to come out this week. And forgive us if something huge breaks later this week and we didn't cover it. We'll definitely talk about it. If something big enough comes out, we'll definitely talk about it on next week's podcast. But I'd like to thank Gio Ramos with me. Where can they find you online, man?
You guys can find me on Twitter at GeorgioRamos24. I've been very active on that lately, and on Movie Talk Express every day. And be sure to check out every Sunday. I'm doing a new thing called Film Duel Fan Poll, where I put together 2 characters or teams from the movie world and make them go at it, and you guys vote on who would win. Check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Really clever idea. Go check. What do you got up there right now? It's the
Warriors versus the Droogs from
Clockwork Orange. Yeah, that was very
pretty
entertaining,
guys.
I love that article, man. I told you. All right, I'm Jacob Bartley, your host of most MTE YouTube channel podcast, and you can find me on Twitter at Jake Ryan Bartley, anywhere online at Jacob Bartley. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We can really use the help, and if you're already subscribed, hit that like button. Thank you all very much for listening, and we'll see you next week.